So guys, if you ever watch this channel, you know that one of our favorite characters to visit is a guy named I don't know what he calls himself now, but he's got all these nicknames for himself, and I think one is Timmy Tim Tum Jacuzzi Timmy Tim Time. I don't know what it is. It doesn't really roll off the tongue very well, but that's what he does. So it's sick. But I was watching this every once in a while. I'll just like dip into one of his videos, and I'll be like, "What goofy thing is this guy saying now?" And this one is on a different level. This one's on a different level for sure, because I actually learned something from this. I feel like watching this forced me to shine a light on something that I did not know enough about, and hopefully maybe you'll get something out of this too. But he's talking about this thing called the George Floyd Square. George Floyd Square in Minneapolis. And basically a group of people and a lot of activists have basically taken over this block. And we'll get into why in a second. But I want to play this clip for you just to show you how Tim, in one day, almost 400,000 people have watched this, how he's telling this story.
Breakdown of order, people move.
By the way, we got MAGA Tom Segura here, of course. That's what I call this guy. I don't know what his real name is, but I call him MAGA Tom Segura because he kind of looks like Tom Segura, the comedian, but he's a MAGA guy. So here we go.
Moving out, the police stepping back and just allowing this crime to take over by design in this case.
This is a war zone, what they're describing.
Yeah.
I've been in civil conflict. I've not been in full-scale war. I have not reported from places where you've got, active, belligerent, militaristic, national, whatever. But I have been in countries. I was in Egypt during the revolution. I was in Ukraine during, a lot of that conflict. Molotovs were being thrown. People were getting shot. Venezuela. I'll tell you this, based on what they're reporting, I felt safe, like reading this. And I'll preface this with, I don't know what it's actually like to be there on the ground. But when I was in Venezuela, nowhere near as scary.
So he's describing this area, George Floyd Square, as this is just a war zone. This is the worst. He read an op-ed. Somebody sent in a story to a local paper where they're like, there's gunfire happening, all this stuff. He read this story and he came to the conclusion that this area is a war zone, worse than basically any war zone on the planet. This area, I'm scared to even go there more than any other war zone. But I don't know what it's like on the ground there. I wonder if there's a way to find out what it's like on the ground in this place.
But it seems like such a bad idea that it feels like it's somebody else doing it. It's like an info op.
I mean, look, the fist symbol they use is literally the communist fist symbol, So I'm not going to pretend that a lot of these people realize what it is. They don't know the core ideology behind a lot of what they're doing. No. There are a lot of people who.
Oh man, I love when he gets into this I'm a really smart guy mode. So I looked around because I wanted to get more information on what's going on here, because I'm actually curious about it. I'm not just trying to throw meat to my 90-year-old audience, and I found a way undersubscribed channel called On-Site Public Media, who they've been doing interviews in this George Floyd Square for months. This video has 124 views. So I would go and check this out. But here's what I learned about this. I did not know this. Look, am I the smartest person in the world?
No.
Do I know what's going on half the time?
No.
Am I a genius?
No.
Am I semi-conscious?
No.
But I was able to find this, and I'll just play you a clip here. And by the way, there's tons of these videos on this channel.
The sixth demand of 24 demands of George Floyd Square, this says require law enforcement officers to maintain private professional liability insurance. What does that mean?
Essentially, that means that law enforcement officers should be responsible and almost come out of pocket.
Yes.
When they screw up.
When you get car insurance, it's for you.
Yep.
Personally. So if you get into a crash, well, that's on you.
Absolutely.
And your premium goes up.
Absolutely.
So how do you think police officers would would interact differently if they had their own personal liability insurance.
Like anybody would, with more care.
Yeah.
So you kind of get the picture here. These interviews, this guy for this on-site public media does a bunch of these with activists inside of this George Floyd Square thing. Let's get the side that Tim Pool conveniently left out of this narrative, which is the people, the activists inside this George Floyd Square, they came up with a list of demands. And they're basically saying, just think about this. They're basically saying, until you meet these demands, we're not gonna leave this square. This is exactly what being a citizen looks like. Being a real citizen, standing up for something you believe in, looks like. There's something wrong. A community gets together and they say, we're not backing down until things change here. And Beanie Moron, from one op-ed he read in a paper from somebody, he concluded that this entire thing is just like a crime zone. By the way, I read there have been shootings in this area, and from what I can gather, I'm trying to connect the dots of like how is this area attracting crime or something? From what it seems like, there's gang activity, there's people coming into this area. In other words, these activists are dealing with the cops who don't like them, and then people who come in and cause trouble as well. That, from everything I could read about it, that's what's going on. And this idiot comes in, and and Beanie Dum Dum and MAGA Tom Segura are like, that's just a crime zone. We're not going to look into it. We read one op-ed that fits our narrative that any kind of civil rights protest or anything related to the George Floyd case or whatever is the cop was doing the right thing and everything's good, because that's what our dummy audience wants to hear. And he somehow missed all this.
I'm here with Marsha Howard to discuss demand number 10 of 24 demands, which says invest $400,000 into the George Floyd Square zone through the neighborhood associations to create new jobs for young people, which will help deter violence. How did you come to the number 400,000?
Well, we came up with the number 400,000 after first determining that demand was necessary. When we were given the task of figuring out what justice looks like, we ran up and down the street, and the young people said they wanted jobs. They wanted job opportunity.
Demand number 10, invest in GFS, which is George Floyd Square, to create new jobs for young people. That's exactly what's going on here. You have a bunch of activists who are doing exactly what citizens are supposed to do. Try to make their community better. Try to, if there's an abuse of power, standing up to it. And they're getting it from both sides. Gangs and blah, 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 coming into this area of the city that they have taken over. And they're getting it from the cops, too. This is a little bit more of a nuanced, interesting story than, this is a bad zone. I mean, this is like, it really is. It really is. We do live we really do live in the Crowder's Law world. Just say dumb things. Just say stupid things. Don't really think about anything and watch those views pile up.
What is this? Who are these people? Why are they doing this? I bring this up not to say that, I don't know what that is they're doing. How many of these people in the autonomous zone are not from Minnesota? How many of them crossed state lines, potentially armed, and are committing?
Oh, I wonder. Man, if you like looked into it at all, maybe you would find some things out. I wonder if it's all bad, because that's what they want to hear for the subscribers. That's what the subscribers want to hear. Whatever it takes to get more of that.
Here we go.
Do you feel like a community has your back on it, or how does that?
Yes, I do. I really do. And I agree with the 3 command as far as my husband, that's in there, that obtained to my husband. They really cannot open the street until that is solved.
Okay.
We cannot have ongoing traffic and people.
This is it. This is what it looks like. This is what, organizing as a community looks like. We're shutting down the street, and we're not going to open it back up until you do what we're asking, which is things like investigate the murder of Damian Chambers. This is we all know this already, but this is a deeply idiotic. He's not an idiotic person, because he's capable. He's capable of doing this, of figuring some of this stuff out, of looking into some of this stuff. It's worse than ignorance. It's a laziness combined with perverse incentive to keep people stupid and keep people asleep. This is great. They just kind of seem to lose any connection to anything here.
We should figure out what happened. But these people have adopted a fringe, violent, extremist ideology. And right now, you know what they're saying? You have these articles come out and they're like, racist extremists are the biggest threat. White supremacists are the biggest threat.
Uh-oh.
Okay, sure, fine. I don't care if you want to say they're the biggest threat. By all means, law enforcement, do your job, target the biggest threat. But can we have a real conversation about how serious this threat is as well?
So those interviews that I played earlier, one of the things that they're talking about, you could watch this interview, I'll put a link to it. One of the things that they're talking about is that police have to have their own private insurance, basically, so that if the police kill somebody and they go to trial and all this stuff, the public, the taxpayer, don't have to bail them out, basically. They're looking for ways to disincentivize police from killing people. And genius here, who didn't have the time, despite being a millionaire from this, didn't have the time to look any of that up. I was able to find it, and I'm a total idiot. Didn't have time to look that up. And now he's lumping these people in. He's comparing these people to white supremacists. That scene, there's that scene in Billy Madison where he's like, what you just said was the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and everybody who just listened to it is now dumber from hearing it, and God have mercy on your soul. That's what I think of, watching this video. to the over 250,000 people, the 359,000 of 359,000 people who watch this, you are now dumber. Every one of you is now dumber from hearing this, and God have mercy on your souls.
Say it's not the biggest threat, but it's certainly a big threat.
To whom? Threat to whom?
Civilians.
Well, who are white supremacists the biggest threat to?
Oh.
MAGA Tom Segura.
What?
This is MAGA Tom Segura's everything is white people are treated badly and white supremacists. So what's the problem? So total idiot, total buffoon, Tim Pool and his crew of various weirdos who he's gathered around, who he apparently gets into nonstop conflict with based on that cat kidnapping article, which I'm not surprised. You put a bunch of dum-dums in a room, they'll figure out a way to, scratch each other's faces off. But I would urge you to look at this on-site public media thing. You're going to be hearing a lot about this in the news, and I've read a bunch of news articles about this where they're saying, oh, the cops need to come in and shut this thing down. They need to take back this block from these people because, there's too much violence in there. The real reason and this is me, I'm based on what I read, I'm reading in between the lines a little bit, and you do your own research and make your own decisions on this and look into it and da. But I really get the vibe from this that the police just really want to shut this down because it's making them look bad, and these people are making demands, and they're standing up to the police, honestly, and they don't want the police in there because they don't trust the police anymore, and the police don't like that. And there's people are coming in, not organizers, not people who are really spending their time there and trying to do good and who are trying to get change based on these demands. It's a bunch of there's a bunch of people coming from outside gangs and all this stuff who they have to contend with too. I think that's what's really going on. And I think a lot of the media is spinning this as, oh, this is a dangerous war zone. This is a dangerous war zone with those people, and the cops need to go bring in law and order, wink, wink, in there. This is a complex situation, but the activists down there, the people who are making demands as a community, beautiful thing, and I 100% support it, and I hope they get everything out of this. Okay, this is what people are supposed to do. Let's make change. Let's make the society we live in better. And if it means getting out there in the street, if it means laying down in the street so they can't drive by, we'll do it. You know, they're dealing with everything. These brave people. So brave, unlike somebody who we know. Beanie Man, beanie. And I made a promise to myself to not make fun of that he wears a beanie. But the things he said that he always says are so stupid that now I just want to make fun of his stupid beanie. Take that beanie off, you stupid little rat. All right, that's a little bit mean, but I went there. And we all make mistakes, and I'm trying to learn and grow as a person. Okay?
What?
Well, guys, I'll keep it short. This is a quick one. Just to dip into one of the bigger morons on YouTube, Timmy Hot Tub Jacuzzi Boy, and his weird gang of lunatics that he hangs out with, that he pays to hang out, who are his loyal followers who would nod and smile at whatever nonsense Dipnut garbage that he says.
Hi.
All right, guys, I love you.
Bye.
Hey, everybody, and thanks so much for watching this video. Like all the other YouTube and podcast perverts, I now have a Patreon. Here you can get daily access to the audio-only feed. And every week on this Patreon, I'm uploading 2
exclusive
Patreon-exclusive shows. They're like real shows, more produced, more edited. One of them is a behind-the-scenes show where I reveal all the secrets and YouTube scams that I'm doing. And the other one, I just reveal my innermost dark, cringe secrets, as well as
deep dive
video essays and more.
And at the top level,
you can even become a producer of the show and get your name handwritten, hand art, hand drawn at the end of every episode. So if that's something that you are interested in, check it out
on Patreon.
I'll put a link in what is the thing called, in the description, I guess. So thank you so much, even if you don't. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's hard to get through these things, but I appreciate you.
This show would be absolute garbage without the producers. Jamie and I may have a disagreement with Sam Cedar's pause button. Jenny Hart! Hey, Jenny Hart, it's me! Oh, she just ignored me. Winter the Muscular. Ethan Weaver.
Vince Barbosa, he is pure ideology at its purest.
Elias Christo, the guy from the hamburger train. Cece LeBlanc. Nez Interlinks. Victor Sonny Duran. Kyle High Level
Ideas.
Hopper. Albert Ellers Ood. Kitty Hooch. Hi, I'm Kitty Hooch. Abby, I don't want cowards teaching my kid green. Tristan Dominic Guzman. Jane Spade. Jessica, a lot of problems stepping off. King Friday. Laura Campbell. Rajawa. Nefatsu Gustav Van Betten. Camilla. Young Slampy. Brian Hernandez. CS. Hey, is that CS? I don't know. Oh wait, yeah, it is CS. Okay, great. Thugs and Kisses denigrates your dude. He's denigrating that dude. Blistered Thumb. Bree Gutierrez. Pixels Green. Pick Green. Old Man Shia. And our favorite name so far, Hard Farter. I hope you're okay, Hard Farter. That sounds
the muscular class
like a problem, to be honest. And a very special thanks to Mr. Quarth, Micah G, Mike Mort Calypso, Roberto Vera. Who's that? What? Oh, it's Carl Hochmuth, or Hochmuth. I don't know, Carl, tell me how to say it. Love you! Terza. And don't cancel me for, I'm just reading a name, okay? Tardmaster. Annihilate. And special guest, Stabsterbait. Kevin Jigaleski. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Mac. You know it's Mac. You can tell it's him. Krill Will. And we got D-Pad Chad. Burn Dubuel. Jake T. Sebastian Delgadillo. Charlotte Glass. CEO of the Muscular Class. Beth Van Diver.
I'm sorry about that, Beth. You know I love you.
Ray Anthony Cox. Eden Joy. Derek Stoker. Apollo Crow. Liz. Martin Lee. Chelsea G. Derek Jesus Christ Wilson. Matt Rowe. Thank you to these beautiful, gorgeous, muscular, soaked up, showering probably 10 to 11 times a day producers.